Videos like these are only possible through member support.
So check out our perks and become a member so we can keep making these episodes for you beautiful people.
On to the video.
Not that gone wild. So how exactly are we going to do this? How can we make this fair? I don't want to give you guys my picks.
Donald, we're going to have to work together on this one. We are a team after all.
How exactly are we a team, Barry?
We will be making the picks as a team and going against our audience who is also making their own picks of the week.
And how are we doing that exactly?
I created an ESPN Pigskin Pick'em League. That way we can go head-to-head with our viewers. And whoever in our audience is ranked in the top 3 will get shout-outs at the beginning of next week's video. If our audience wants to join, they can click the link at the pinned comment.
Oh, so we're competing against our entire audience?
Joe, that is literally what I just said.
Fine, but I'm not exactly happy about it.
And to spice it up a little bit, each of us will be giving a bet prediction that we like at the end of our picks.
Don't our picks count as straight line money, bets predictions?
Technically they do, since all of us aren't picking each game, but add in a different kind of bet instead.
So how do we split this up, Barry?
Well, as there are 4 of us, and there are 16 games being played, we will each take 4.
Sounds good, so I guess we'll go in order here.
Exactly age before beauty, so I will be going last, Joe. Why don't you start us off?
All right, Donald, I'll start us off. First game is the Chiefs versus the Ravens. It's being played at Arrowhead Stadium. And honestly, I know I should pick the Chiefs, but everything in my heart is telling me to pick the Ravens this week.
How the heck do you see that happening, Joe?
Well, I think similar to how the Lions performed in the season opener last year against the Chiefs, I think the Ravens have a chip on their shoulder from the AFC Championship loss. And we all know, no matter how slow the Chiefs start when it comes time for playoffs is when they really shine.
Good point. So who do you have for the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles?
This game annoys me so much, they literally are taking a home game away from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not just any home game, a home game that could have severe implications for the postseason.
Exactly. The Eagles and the Packers are the 2 most popular teams in Brazil. So why would they have the Packers be the Eagles' opponents?
It's going to be a road game for both teams, so ultimately, no one is going to be happy.
Well, you guys know who I'm rolling with, the EAGLES Eagles.
Well, I would expect nothing less from an Eagles deep throater.
Eagles deep throater is a sentence I never expected to hear in my life.
Next is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons.
This is going to be a really hard one to pick. I can see the absolute BS of Steelers football winning this as they just stumble into victory. But I think the Atlanta crowd is going to be extra hyped up for their new quarterback and head coach. So give me the Falcons on this one.
And next we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, if you put a gun to my head, 100 times out of 100, I would be taking the Bills.
And what does your crystal ball say the best bet of the week is, Joe?
My bet for this week is Jalen Hurts over 250 passing yards, which is currently at plus 110. I think with them literally having 5 receiving options, including Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley. Jalen should easily get over 250 passing yards.
Where are those odds from?
I'm not going to say because currently we are not sponsored.
Absolutely correct.
Moving on, Barry, it's your turn.
All right, first up are my Chicago Bears against the Tennessee Titans.
Heads up, everyone, Caleb Williams blowjob incoming.
I wouldn't go quite that far, Donald.
You would if you had the chance, Barry. We all know you. You like his painted nails, don't you, buddy?
Shut the hell up, Donald. I will be taking my Bears this week.
Isn't there a stat that rookie quarterbacks almost always lose their first week?
That is true, but this is a much different situation for a rookie QB, and the competition is literally the Tennessee Titans. So I will be taking my Chicago Bears.
And next up is the New England Patriots versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Obviously the Bengals, even if Joe Burrow was injured, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both got shot, all before the season starts, I would take the Cincinnati Bengals.
Fair enough. Then next up you have the Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts.
I actually think this will be one of the best games of the week. I think both of these teams look very good, and I'll be excited to see how Anthony Richardson plays since he's coming back from his injury. But give me the Texans, as they have the more proven track record at this time.
And wrap up your predictions. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins.
Give me the Dolphins. I think this game will be a lot closer than people think, but I don't think the Jaguars are going to be able to stop the crazy offense that the Miami Dolphins have.
So, out of those games, what is your bet of the week, Barry?
My bet is a very modest Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown score, currently at minus 120, which I believe the odds will only get worse on that as the season progresses, because I think Tyreek Hill is going to be a beast this year.
Doesn't Tyreek Hill have a thumb injury, though?
He does, but I think he'll be just fine.
All right, George, you're up next, and it's the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Well, since this one is taking place in New Orleans, that gives the Saints a serious advantage to start. But going off of what we know, the Panthers were literally the worst in the league last year, and we didn't see Bryce Young play at all in the preseason. So give me the Saints.
All right, next up we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants.
As a Cowboys fan, you already know what I'm picking, the Minnesota Vikings. I really think the only way that I would ever pick the Giants to win is if they were playing against the Carolina Panthers or the Broncos. Even then, I'd have to think long and hard about it.
So, then following that, you have the Raiders at the Chargers. What you got, George?
Oh, I'll take the Raiders all day on this one. I really have no idea why people would be picking the Chargers. Who exactly is their number one receiver? That's what I thought. So give me the Raiders on this one.
And to wrap up your predictions, George, you have the Broncos at the Seahawks.
Well, I think this one is going to go down like their Super Bowl, but not to the extreme point disparity between the two. So give me the Seahawks, as playing in Seattle in that stadium is a crazy advantage with the noise level and the fact that Denver is starting a rookie QB in Bo Nix.
All right, and what is your bet of the week, George?
I'm taking the under of 41.5 points for the Vikings-Giants game, which is currently sitting at minus 112 odds.
All right, all of the aged men have gone, as Donald would say. So now it is time for the youthful and beautiful chubby boy Donald to wrap us up.
I'm not a big fan of that comment, Barry, but regardless, we have the Cowboys versus the Browns. I think the CeeDee Lamb holdout and the fact that he hasn't been at camp is going to hurt them greatly. And I think the Browns defense is going to be able to stop the Cowboys offense enough for the Browns to win this game. So give me the Browns.
Dude, this might be your craziest pick yet. We dem boys.
Shut up, you cowgirl simp.
Have you not been paying attention, George? That was literally my first pick. On to my second pick, though, the Redskins versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one, as I don't think the rookie QB Jaden Daniels will be winning his first battle.
How many times do we have to go over this old man? It's the Commanders now.
Not in my America, Barry.
Guys, you already had this debate in the NFL teams ranked video. Let's not continue it here, please.
Fair enough, George. Fair enough. Moving on to the Rams versus the Lions. The Lions have arguably the best O-line in the NFL, and the Los Angeles Rams no longer have their O-line destroyer in Aaron Donald. So give me the Detroit Lions in this match. Next up is the 49ers versus the New York Jets, and I think this will be a very good game.
Hilariously, the player that caused Aaron Rodgers to miss the entire season last year is no longer on the Bills, and he's on the 49ers, so he could do the funniest thing ever.
Hey, we do not wish injury on any player, no matter what team they play for, unless it's the Cowboys.
Shut the hell up, Joe.
I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. George, calm down, cowgirl.
As I was saying, I think this can be a very, very good game, but we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers play in almost 2 years, being that he only got 4 real NFL snaps last year. So give me the San Francisco 49ers in this one.
And what is your bet of the week, Donald?
And for my bet this week, give me the under of 43.5 points in the Jets versus Niners game. The odds are minus 108. Both of those defenses are really good, and I think this will be a low-scoring defensive game.
And with that, our Week 1 predictions are done. Let us know who you think will be winning this week in the comments below, and make sure to join our Pick'em League to see if you can pick them better than we can.
Oh my God, guys, football season is almost here.
And it couldn't come soon enough.